Welcome again to Entrepreneurial 1 Cent, the place where we turn those small ideas of yours to big opportunity. And I remain your host, Olakunle Adegbo, and as usual, we're going to be delving into the lives of risk takers, of visionaries, to understand their strategies, their principles, their failures, and their successes. If you're ready to make that 1 cent into $1 billion, then let's walk this journey together, because I want to prove to you that you don't need a fortune to build one. Once again, we are live with our doyen that has been doing justice to the concept of entrepreneurship. Sir, you're welcome once again.
Thank you, Mr. Ola.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. You're welcome. This is our doyen that we brought in person of engineer Nnamdi Felix Onachukwu, the CEO of DAX Global, a multidimensional company that is doing great works in Africa at the moment. All right, sir, without any further ado, let's go into what we have to talk about today. The last time we had our guest in the house, he made us to understand that the fuel that drives success in entrepreneurship is passion. And he explained to us what passion meant, the difference between passion and ambition, and what they do. And today we're going to be delving further into another principle that he applied that got him to where he is. And that's the principle of preparation. When you don't prepare, you are not ready to make any advancement. I read from his book, quoting his words. He said that tomorrow, yesterday, and today are constant to us. We all have those 3 days. Yesterday is past, you forget about it. Today is what you have control over. Tomorrow is in the womb of the future. And so if you want to make tomorrow look like what you want, you have to start preparing today. So today we're going to hear from the horse's mouth. He's going to be telling us the preparations he made, how we made them, and every ingredient that is involved in preparation to be a successful entrepreneur. So, sir, having said all of that, preparation. I feel that's a word that has been trivialized over the time. And usually a larger demography of people trivialize it. When you look at students, you see them reading 2 weeks to the exam. Because workers, you see them trying to finish up Monday's job on Sunday evening, and and all of that, and at the end of the day, everything comes out so clumsy. So, sir, preparation. I know that you must have a deeper understanding of this as an entrepreneur who has lasted over 3 decades. Please, sir, could you enlighten us more so that my viewers will understand how important this principle is?
Thank you, Ola.
Thank you,
when
sir.
you talk about preparation, oftentimes we see people go to execute something without adequate preparation. And if you take it from any world, even the world of sports, if you see those people who are doing well in Olympics, go and check very well. They started preparing when they were young, and maybe after every Olympic, they don't take holiday. Start preparing for the next 4 years. And you're wondering, this one is going to take just a 100-meter dash that will last only about 10 minutes. And he's preparing for it for 4 years. To you, who don't understand the essence of preparation or the importance of preparation, you think that he's wasting his time. And at the end of the day, he goes with gold. So for entrepreneurs, preparation is the most important thing. It starts with 2 ways. You need to prepare yourself mentally. You need to prepare yourself, financially. The mental preparation is the most important here. Like you mentioned that all we have usually remains constant. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So today is a gift. That gift is for you to maximize your tomorrow. If you don't maximize today, you cannot meet the future you desire.
Yes, sir.
So, but when you use your today very well and prepare for tomorrow, I bet you tomorrow, the future is just something you will enjoy. You don't have to struggle. Preparation is very important. Like I talked about mental preparation. That's why I'm part of those that advocate that entrepreneurship should come to basic education, basic level where the children will begin to form a mindset. It starts with a mindset. You know, being able to tell yourself, yes, I can do this. And a lot of things helps you to prepare for the bigger thing. Because everything you do in life, you see that it always starts small and grade up, you know. When I will tell you this story that happened to me when I was young, I was in the university. I was in my third year. And that was 1996. So 1996, somewhere, I used to own a store at Mandela's supermarket, Mandela's market, where they sell footwears. And I had this young guy that I gave my money. As at then, I worth about 600,000 naira. If you know how much it was then, when dollar was below,
it's a lot of money then.
Dollar was going to about either 80, from 30 naira to 88 naira. I can't remember again. Sorry, from 22 naira to 80. That was the days of Sani Abacha. So I worth about 600,000. I don't forget. So when I was going back to school, I gave it to one young guy who was looking over my store. And at times we take them money, go to Ghana, bring in stuff. So one of the days, I came back, I was on holiday. My parents didn't know I owned that store. Nobody knew I worth that amount. So that store, the market went into flames and was a victim of it. So my father was part of people bailing some other small stores out. You know, calling them and was, you know, giving them 10,000, 20,000. He didn't know that I was badly affected. But the only thing is that I was sleepy. I took up, the only way, because I didn't tell my dad, I didn't tell my mom, was to bear it. There was nobody to explain this thing. I would cry midnight. Nobody knew I was crying. So I would lie down, I was not eating food. So my parents didn't notice that attitude. But somebody came to my dad and said, this one you're helping to bear people out. What about your son? He said, my son, how? He said, your son was badly affected by the fire, the inferno. He came down there and knocked on my door and saw that I was alone. He said, I've been noticing this, your disposition. What happened? I said, I was actually part of it. He laughed. I said, now you are graduating to become a man. That is preparation.
Wow.
That they call the baptism of fire.
Wow.
I said, I lost everything I got. He said, don't worry, you're still young, you make it.
Wow.
So preparation is more of mindset thing. So when I survived that incident, I've survived so many other things, hard times of life. Why I've not developed high BP? Doctors were asking, do you have high BP? I said, I don't have. Do you have anything? No, I don't have. Why? It was part of the build-up to it.
Wow.
So preparation is multifaceted. It's something that I can't define it because it's difficult for me to define it. However, for anything you want to do in life, prepare for it because it's not only going to be bed of roses every time. There'll be a time you meet the brick wall. If you're not prepared, you might even commit suicide. But self-resilience, you know, that's something that gives you ability to reinvent yourself, withstand the shock, and come back. It's part of the preparation. It comes from your mind. That's why I talk about mental preparation. If you're not prepared mentally and you dabble into the business world and you get that, you know, kind of shock, some people it will give the mental health issues. Some people might even want to take their lives. But now, another mental preparation here is that people will disappoint you. So a lot of preparation, you know, comes to you mentally. You need to develop it. So now financial preparation is that you begin savings. You learn how to save. You learn how to save. You learn how to be good to people. You learn how to maintain integrity. Because people are trying you every day. They see how you handle this thing. You are preparing yourself for something big. You know, when you come out and say, oh, this is a good boy. The last time I was dealing with him, was able to show, you know, fortitude and uprightness. They will advance you credit if you get that. So this preparation is all-encompassing, like I said. It moves from your mental preparation to financial preparation, your character, what you mean to society where you exist is part of the preparation, because You see, let me tell you this. People go to school, and when they're in school, they're not preparing for anything. Or they're preparing for their exams. But the real thing where it matters is life. After school, what matters? Some people, especially the ladies, they go to school, they don't prepare for marriage. So when it comes to them, it hits them like a thunderbolt. But in life, growing up, you should be preparing for life. You should be preparing for anything. One of my mentors said that he has gone for his father's funeral several times before he lost him. So when he lost his dad, it was not too much for him. So it takes mental preparation, you know, telling yourself, what if this, what if this, what if that. So life, like I said to you, is not linear. Life goes up and comes down. So all this preparation is very important for you to be a good entrepreneur that, you know, can do something that is sustainable and scalable. You need to prepare for it. That height you want to go, it takes you up, you come down, you don't relent, you go up again. Keep trying. That's how you become who you want to be.
Wow.
It takes preparation.
Wow. That's a whole book on its own, guys. That was a whole book on its own that he just told us now. This is awesome. Thank you very much, sir. We really appreciate what you have said in introduction to the principle of preparation. You know, one of the things I got was you have to be mentally prepared and at the same time financially prepared. So it means that emotionally you have to have a level of emotional intelligence. You have to get yourself to read. So it's not about just jumping on any business because it looks good. There are a lot of things that go into doing business according to our sage that we have here. All right, sir. We have spoken about preparedness, preparation, and the mental and the financial preparation. Also, a question bothers me that as a person now that I would like you to shed more light into it. Now, this preparation, is there a formula to it? Are there things that you need to add to it? Now, this is how I say preparation. You try to count your cost. Know what you want to do, know what it's going to entail from you. Is that all that is about preparation, or there are some other ingredients that you need to add to it to hold up as a structure for that preparation?
Let me tell you something. Whatever you want to be in life, someone has become that. Anything you want to be.
Yes, sir.
Anywhere you want to be,
yes,
someone
sir.
has gone there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So the best thing you do in preparation is to discover who is there. And that's what they call mentorship.
Yes,
so many people jump out today and say, because this man has done this, people are now talking, he has money. I want him to be my mentor. It's not only about that. Success is only when you have money. So you look at who you want to be like when you grow up. And like I said in preparation, I started observing my parents, I started observing my dad. And he told me stories, you know, how he served his master. In those days, after the war, and in the eastern part of Nigeria, the best way the people from the easterners were helping themselves is for you to discover and show your brother. So he started with what is called the one boy syndrome. The one boy now was a case of apprenticeship, where someone who has discovered one business brings his brother, his siblings, to join him in that business. At the end of doing that business, at certain times, maybe after about 5 years or 6 years, depending on the agreement, they will look at that business. He will give them a certain percentage of that business. And now find for them another store where they will start trading on the same business. So from there, it started spreading that it started involving, neighborhoods, relations, beyond siblings, people in the family, beyond the family, in the clan, and in the village, and in the town, and beyond that. So people started taking them because it was two-way thing. It was a mutual thing. This young boy comes, helps your business to expand. You are teaching him, you are mentoring him, you are sending him. It's like school. So people those days, because the Easterners didn't have the money to send their children to school fees, so it was to school because they didn't have the money. They were now sending it to the ones that are already doing well, and we train them. We also give them that informal education, which might not be classroom thing, but keep them in a store. They know everything about the store. They know where to buy. They know where to sell. So, and with that, they were able to build what is today studied maybe some in big business schools in the world.
Yes, sir.
They're studying that
Structure.
phenomenon. That thing, what was it all about? How did it come about? So now preparation means that boy is looking at his master, observing his master. He say you want to be like your master. So that's part of preparation. That's what I call mental thing. It takes a lot. Like you talked about emotion, talked about all around this thing, and a social, your social life, your social capital need to grow while you're serving your master. You are knowing the friends of your master. You're knowing the customers to your master. When you open your own, those people will see you. Oh, this boy that used to help us when he was with the master. Oh yeah, where is your own store? Let me come and buy one plug from you. And from there, they will start building their own business. So now, what I mean by preparation, let me bring it out from the apprenticeship thing that I just cited. Now, it takes someone saying, this is who I want to be. I start looking up to someone who is already there as a mentor and begin to observe that mentor. Just by observation. No longer, these days people write email to someone and say, "Sir, mentor me." You start by observation, consuming everything that person is shutting out. If somebody is talking, you are listening. If the person has a book, you go and read it. You know, coming around the person and learning something, serving the person. Now, another thing I need to tell us about preparation, it comes with service. You need to serve. You need to serve. While you are serving, you mellow down. You still have years ahead of you. But these days, you don't see boys, they don't want to serve.
Yes, sir.
They want to hit it big.
Yes, sir.
Because others are hitting it big.
Yes, sir.
And they've not calculated those ones that are hitting it big now through fraud, is it sustainable? If I look back, those people that were into fraud before I was born, after when I was growing up, and now that I'm old, I would advise anybody, don't attempt fraud. It doesn't lead you anywhere. It only defines your grave and how soon you will die. And nothing about fraud scales. Nothing about fraud scales. Most business is done with fraud. One way or the other, one day they must discover that fraud and everything will be taken away. So it doesn't. So anyhow you hide, one day that same finds you out. So I guess I have been jumping from one thing to the other. Let me come back to summarize on the question you asked. As in, what exactly is this preparation?
What do you need to add to the preparation?
Now, to summarize it, like I mentioned, you need service, you need that mentorship, and like you said, you need to know what you are about to do.
Yes, sir.
You need to understand the business.
Yes, sir.
You need to understand the season of that business.
Yes, sir.
You know when it is off season, when it is in season. You must understand these things. These are the things that will prepare you so that when you go into that thing, if you are off season, you don't run away. You know that the season is going to come. Because life is about seasons. Do you understand? There are dry season. After the dry season, you have the rainy season.
Yes, sir.
You know, if you move beyond Nigeria, you have the winter. You have the summer. Do you understand? You don't throw away your winter clothes because there is summer. Because winter will surely come back.
Exactly.
So life, you need to just prepare yourself all around, understanding that this is life, this is business, this is entrepreneurship, and then staying put when it is, it is the off season, and knowing that when it is the race season, you gather everything you need to gather. So preparation is something I cannot exhaust. Cannot exhaust it. It's vast. But make up your mind. For anything I want to do, I need to get prepared. Mentally, physically, spiritually, let me put it that way, and otherwise. You know why I put spiritually? Because I believe there is God factor in everything we do in life.
Sir. Yes,
so
sir.
Before you go into that thing, even when you land it, just ask God, go with me. And he goes with you. When he gives the approval, of course, you know the sky is your starting point.
That was awesome. That was awesome. He nailed it so strongly for us. And I believe that you as an entrepreneur, or you that you're aspiring to be an entrepreneur, you're listening keenly to these things, because these are nuggets that will run your life for you. You must be able to pay the sacrifice of discipline for all that this preparation entails. You must just be able to do that. All right, sir. So a question came to me, and I want to I want to ask that question because I hear it on the streets. And people keep talking, there's this thing called jackpot syndrome now.
Okay.
And then everybody wants to elevate, want to move, And I keep asking myself, of course, I've been an advocate of it because I had my reasons and all of that. But I was having a conversation with an elderly person, and he was asking me that, do I know when the eagles actually soar? Do I know what they use the storm to do? That when they sight the storm, every animal could sense the storm, they are running.
Yes.
But the eagle is waiting for the storm because he will now begin to glide in the storm.
Yes.
That's so, as an entrepreneur, that is your mindset.
Yes.
And I'm like, you are not an entrepreneur. All this motivational speaking. That's how you go and tell someone to go and carry a rock like that. I don't want to listen. So sitting with an entrepreneur right now, and with your vast knowledge and your experience, sir, what can you say about that? When is the best time to be an entrepreneur? Is it like a time like this? Of course, considering the state of things in our beloved country at the moment, we know that it's a very rough patch, and we're trusting that we're going to get to that safe spot where we will understand what sanity looks like. Because right now it's a bit chaotic and all of that. But sir, and that's one of the reasons why a lot of people want to leave Nigeria. That's why they want to leave this country, because they just feel, no, I can't. Now, in times like this, as an entrepreneur, should we too consider becoming a virtual entrepreneur, or is it what would you tell us at this time?
Okay, Mr. Ola, you asked me about if entrepreneurs should jackpot.
Yes, sir. Maybe we should go and become virtual entrepreneurs.
Yes. You know what? For me, I don't blame people when they're wrong. And why I don't blame them is because those in the government, the fiscal policy makers, are not firm in the decision making. So because of uncertainties, nobody thrives on the uncertainty. Businesses don't thrive under uncertainties. So if someone is running away because of uncertainty and believing when there is sanity he comes back, then it's a different ballgame. But I found people who have opportunities here in Africa running away for good to go and continue service somewhere else. But for entrepreneurs are problem solvers. So in any society where you have a lot of issues, problems, you have opportunities anywhere. So if I use Nigeria for example today, we have a lot of issues around Nigeria, problems that need solution. Only entrepreneurs can provide this solution, not even the government. So if you are part of the entrepreneurs here in Nigeria, then you have a bit of cake to share from. Because by the time Nigeria is ready to solve all those issues littered around her, then the more you solve is the more you take as a cake. So I will not encourage any entrepreneur to run away and run away for real. You might step aside if you can't handle it mentally, and then allow your business. It's not going to die. Take it as a winter stage where the leaves shed. But you remain, all the animals, they hibernate that period, waiting for the summer. Once summer comes, they come out from that shell and begin to blossom. So Nigeria will not remain like this, I bet you. We're going to get it right. Not only that we're praying for it to happen, but we know that it's something that will happen. Nothing lasts forever as far as I'm concerned. The good does not last forever. No war lasts forever. No crisis lasts forever. There will be a time everything will just readjust itself. Those who are available are the ones to enjoy it. I'm telling you what is going on. You see this exchange rate turbulence. There will be a day to stabilize. Those that have Naira will be richer than those that have dollars. And people that have dollars will be regretting that they didn't have Naira. So that's how life works. it's not just going to be like flat that way. One time, I'm very optimistic. Somebody may think that I'm wrong, or I may be wrong to someone, but this is something I've found over time. Since I started business, let me say from when I was doing my service to year 2000, I would have said, oh, let me leave this country because things were not working. I didn't know that we were going to get to this this part where we are today. But I can tell you that we have a lot of opportunities. While you are living, are you not bothered or wondering why the Indians and Chinese are coming in every day? There's something that I see. God has so blessed Africa that everything you want is under Africa. That's the whole world is looking for Africa. That's the next emerging market. Why should I live for Europe when Europe wants Africa? They want to come to Africa. You have everything they are using to manufacture. Even if you talk about electric cars today, people think of lithium battery. You have lithium here. You have gold here. You have, oh my God, you have the crude. You have the gas. You have everything that is needed. In Africa, we have good weather. We have a number of things. It's just that leadership is the biggest issue we have. Are we going to get it right one day? I think so. So for an entrepreneur, I will encourage you, please. Even if you're running away, don't take off completely. Still leave that your business. When you are making money out there in dollars, you are supporting one small business here and making sure that that business is not completely dead. Yes, sir. Because there will be a day you will need that business. So entrepreneurs don't shut down completely. They might hibernate, but they believe that they are going to come back in whatever thing you do. So I will encourage entrepreneurs to weather the storm. Like you mentioned, the ego. The ego uses the storm to gain height. During the storm, the stormy weather, the ego, like you say, glides and again, the storm is throwing it up. And at that point, they stop flapping. No more exerting energy. Gliding. But until you see it from that light, you see those problems from the light of opportunities, you will continue to cry, thinking that it's a problem that is going to swallow you. But I don't think it's something that swallows us.
Thank you.
So let's weather this stuff.
Thank you very much, sir. So you have heard, you started that little idea. You started doing it on your social media status, and for some reason, your uncle said, oh, come and stay with me at California, and he said to move. And then from that day, we don't see your status again. You don't hear now. This is 3 years of decade speaking. Well, me that I'm an entrepreneur that we're still weathering the storm, sir, the code is much, but we have an option to step aside, but we are not jackpying. So when next I'm going to be shooting this, maybe I'll have stepped aside, but we are still going to be talking about entrepreneur 1 cent. All right, so to wrap up this episode, I have a question, and I'm going to be picking that question from the answer our guest gave when he was talking about preparedness. Yeah, he actually spoke about some set of people called the Unwa boys. And one of the things that shocked me was the years he told me that they used to spend. So you said it was 5-6 years. 5 years you would have been an engineer. By year 6, you're already a master degree holder. So what exactly is your curriculum like? But I found out, I can't, maybe, because of the person I have here, he will be able to tell me as an authority, but I found out that those guys do good, sir. They do exceptionally well. I've had a few of them as friends and say, oh, I just got my freedom last year, and they're doing exceptionally well. And you're wondering, with little or no education, or what we call the education, the literacy that we're talking about now. So I want you to just enlighten us more about these Unwa boys and the dynamics around it. Because I heard that they have been studied at some, top-notch business schools, a model.
Yes. Growing up, my father had about 14 to 15 of them living in the same house with us. Living in the same house. So they were like his children. We slept almost on the same bed, shared the same common living room. So in the morning, like the kind of training my dad was giving us was exactly the same training he was giving them. In the morning, they go to all the stores, the branches, and stay in that store. And within that community, in the market area, they learn from one another. In fact, the ones that are new, the way to know that they are new is when you ask them, go and bring this thing. You know, go and bring me a piston that will match Honda. He goes to bring the one that will match Toyota. That's when they say, no, look at this one. You are still new. Tomorrow he will not make that mistake.
Yes, sir.
Now, when that young man comes to that store every day, he takes the stock, he looks, because it's informal, but they are learning something. He looks at his sales book, he knows how to copy his sales, he looks at his purchase book, he knows how to, where to buy these goods. He looks at customers, and how to make invoice and the rest of things. So they're learning all those things. They're not learning numeracy, grammar like you have them in the secondary school and in the university. So, but they are learning. That's informal education. The only thing they are lacking there is that they are not using British curriculum, which is exactly, training people to enslave them. But they are master at what they do, their acts. Tomorrow, if you bring someone who is a graduate of so and so, even business education or business studies, and you put him with that young man in Alaba, and give this one 10 million, the one they graduate 10 million, and give the Alaba boy 1 million naira.
Yes, sir.
Come back after 5 years.
Yes, sir.
The Alaba boy will worth the 10 million. The graduate will be struggling with 100,000 or 1 million.
Wow.
It is just like that. Because when they sit in their store, anything you ask them, they know it. Have you imagined when you come into a store and you find a boy, you ask him, I need so thing. He will stretch his hand and bring that stuff and give you. We watch you. How
did he know?
Something he does over time, over the months, over the years. So at the end of the day, he knows that somebody is going to give him seed capital to start his own.
Yes, sir.
So he has built a lot of, he has socialized, has known customers, has met people, and within that their circle, they are happy.
Yes, sir.
They do a lot of things together.
Exactly.
So at the end of the day, you see them, all those boys coming newly, grouping to go to China together.
Yes,
they might group their money and ask one of them to go to China, and then they do what is called groupage, and they will become importers. From you are still saying you're a graduate from being an importer on groupage. He has started now importing a full container on his own, and he has become a rich man. If he's dynamic enough, he might start taking some studies online. 5 years after he's a graduate, where can you beat him?
Wow.
The only thing you laugh at him and say he's an illiterate. Literacy depends on what you call it.
Yes, sir.
Is it because you can speak grammar, but you can't feed your family? In fact, one time I was speaking too much grammar. I've told people this. I said I speak a lot of English until I went to China. I found out that they didn't need my English. I went to Dubai. The more you speak too much, then somebody will say, call you Baba, because they speak Arabic. Small. And I found out my grammar wasn't what they needed. Are you understanding?
Yes,
here?
sir. Yes, sir.
So what we need to do is to come out from that mentality of I can speak English, I did that. And what does it sum to at the end of the day? So the best thing that will happen to this nation, and which I'm advocating, is to now formalize down one boy thing and bring it to school system.
Adopt that.
Give these children craft, give these children
start
skills.
Training them from that.
Now, while you're teaching them numeracy, you are allowing them to do this other one. Merge all this one. You are going to get fine entrepreneurs. The disadvantage today is that boy who went to do one boy does not have all the exposure in terms of numeracy and everything, but he understands his skills very well.
Yes, sir.
And this other one knows the English and numeracy, but does not know the skills. So Nigeria is suffering for it. So when we bring these two together and are able to merge it, you're going to produce in the next 10 years entrepreneurs that will take over the world, that will be too innovative.
Yes, sir.
And not just traders, but real businessmen who are combining what you're giving them from numeracy and everything, the classroom thing, and the other one he has done, with his hands. And you get the best. So that's exactly what I'm advocating, and I believe that we're going to get there. So don't be afraid about the 6 years. You see, Ola, let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
If you are asked to serve for 6 years and become a billionaire after 6 years, than that you don't serve for 6 years and I give you ₦1 million today. After 6 years, you are still worth only about 100,000. Which one will you choose?
So I will go for.
You want to serve. But the problem today is that people don't understand this concept. Due to impatience, they really want to blow. You know, without service. That one boy you talked about, apprentice, is about service. Go and meet one guy that used to repair my car in Ladepo, was someone who was serving his master.
Wow.
Who was a mechanic. Is that his master? What he does is just, when they bring vehicle, we tell him, oh yeah, bring out this engine. Jide, Jide, finally today, I will call Jide and say, come and pick my car. Because I know he has served his master for 5 years. And today, Jide has his own workshop. Wow. And the same thing with people who make furnitures. If you see the ones that are ready to serve, after serving, they become master at the craft. So service is very important. Don't be bothered about the years. You know, a child that is only 15 years today, if you give him another 5 years to learn this thing and become a master, what I'm talking about, become a master. And then the rest of your life, you don't suffer because you are master at something.
Yes, sir.
And as long as you're master at something, continue to make money. That's where I leave it.
Wow, you heard it all from the sage himself. This is 30 years of experience speaking. So it means that the Unwa boys apparently are more at an advantage than we that are rushing to go and learn, you know, in the 4 walls of a university. Now, this is not to discredit that aspect, like you said. The merging together of both is what produces that exceptionality that we're talking about. So for those of you that are wondering that what is the curriculum of the Unwa boy like, what do they get for 6 years? Let me tell you, number one, they learn to be a master at something. Number two, they tend to build their own networks and network together. Number three, you know, they get
even discipline. They gain discipline.
They learn to know discipline.
Yes.
And you know, number four, which is something that we're still going to be talking about on this show, they are the epitome of the definition of consistency. You know what it means to resume somewhere at 7 in the morning and leave that place at 6 in the evening. And that's your routine for 6 years. Yes. There's nothing else that talks about consistency than that. So on this note, I want to say big thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And for the access that you have given us to your wealth of wisdom. So guys, this is still Entrepreneurial 1 Cent, and this is a place where we turn that small idea into a big opportunity. So if you have 1 cent and you want to turn it into $1 million venture, come on, walk with me and make sure you keep following. Thank you so much.
BMI Finishing School.